Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 2. According to you guys, he left all of his real points for the second half of the video, so let's see what kind of shenanigans we can get up to today.
After that, their response to criticism regarding that tweet was simply to ban people.
Well, honestly, I think that was a good decision of theirs. I think they should be banning people. I mean, what if they're bots? They might be botting their comments. You never know. It's really important that we have real discussion. And all this discussion is just being clogged up by the bots. We gotta get rid of the bots so we can get back to agreeing with each other.
Now, let's look at the CEO of Monfish, whose name is Robert Pagratuni. Except that it isn't.
Robert, you've been discovered. Robert! Robert!
His actual name is Maxim Zatsepin.
You know, the damnedest thing happened to me today. I was talking to someone on tech support, and they said that their name was David, and then I've come to find that their name is Rajesh Kumar.
Max previously had a position of a creative director / top manager in Mail.ru, which is now presented as VK, the biggest social media platform in Russia. It doesn't take much to figure out that a platform that is based in Russia, directed and controlled by Russia, and is used only by Russians will have a strict pro-Russian stance. But it doesn't end there.
So it's a Russian social media based in Russia with a Russian bias that censors content on its platform depending on the Russian government, and so therefore associating with said platform is unethical. You know, that's funny, because we have something like that over here in the West. Oh yeah, let me finna crack out the Twitter research, yeah. Ignoring the hypocrisy, a creative director is a marketer. They work in the marketing department of a company. They don't have any say on what gets censored on the platform, nor are they responsible for it. They just work on marketing the platform. Oh, and by the way, he says this like he did a bunch of research to find this out. You can literally find it on his fucking LinkedIn page. He's not afraid of it. It's not a history he's trying to cover up. It's on his fucking LinkedIn. Also on his LinkedIn, you can find out that he worked there from November 2011 to July 2015. I don't even know what I was doing in 2015, probably fucking English homework or something. But you can't have a cancellation attempt without digging up someone's history, can you?
Meet Yevgenia Sidova. As the founder of Monfish, she's a former model and an owner of a modeling agency. She worked at New Media Stars, where she was in charge of the computer graphics department.
That sounds like a strong, independent woman going from the computer department of a company to owning her own company, which is fucking impressive. Good for her. But of course, this incel misogynist is going to try and bring her down like men have been trying to bring her down her entire life. Yevgenia, why you work in computer graphics department? Why you no wash dishes? Darling, I do not spend 12 hours a day working on Destiny 2 so that you can play with your silly little projects.
That company is now in charge of various pro-Russian mass media such as Vzglyad.ru and Dni.ru.
Okay, so once again, shocker, big companies in Russia are pro-Russian. Wow, that's crazy. I never saw that coming. I bet the entire time she was in the computer graphics department, she was just sitting at a desk going, "Brr, those damn Ukrainians!"
According to the former employees of the company, all Monfish transactions and checks are on her behalf.
How dare they hire a woman to look after money? They should give the money to me, and then I will spend it on Destiny 2.
Let's roll back the time a little bit.
Oh, buddy, your entire last segment was you rolling back the time.
The game has been in development for quite a while, and by quite a while I mean at least 7 years, with its earliest trailers dating back to 2017, and the scene in 2017 and 2018 wasn't as smooth for them. Many people got interested and excited, but a lot of people were skeptical, the reason being a shady system of pre-orders. Let me paint you a picture. An unknown company posts a small teaser trailer of some generic assets and a description to cause hype, with all of the effort to guide you to their pre-order page, where you would be met with a $60 base game, $90 pre-order for Gold Edition, and $100 for Premium Edition.
Let me paint you a picture. A company, known for its shady practices, releases a trailer using the exact same assets from the last game to guide you towards its pre-order page, where it will charge you $60 for its standard edition, $90 for its gold edition, and $100 for its ultimate edition.
Mind you, you see these price tags, and there's exactly 2 minutes of badly made teaser trailer footage with no gameplay to serve as the video game's representation and marketing.
First of all, I don't think it's poorly made. It looks quite nice and it has a fucking kicking soundtrack. But what do you mean no gameplay? What the fuck is this? This is from the announcement trailer from 5 years ago. What do you mean there's no gameplay? What is this then?
What did not help was the fact that the game was being developed by a studio that no one has ever heard from before, being just born and publishing Atomic Heart as their first game, which means that they have no background and no past games that would justify the pre-order prices.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Let me teach you a concept in capitalism, since you're obviously very anti-communist. You can charge whatever you want. That's the beauty of capitalism. If I have something, I have the right to sell it for however much I want. It's mine. And if you want to choose not to buy it, that's also your choice. It's a free market. I don't need to justify my prices to anybody, because I value it at that much money. You know what I didn't have a choice in? You know what I was forced to spend my money on? Challenger 2 tanks and a new artillery system to be sent to your country from my defense budget. You're welcome, by the way.
However, the breaking point for many people was that the game didn't even have a release date, or even a release year at the time, which meant that you're investing up to $100 for something that might not come out ever.
And if you do that, you're a fucking moron. Don't pre-order things, it's stupid.
You know what else is $60 for the same price as the base game? Elden Ring.
You know what's £4 for its base game? Garfield Kart. Who gives a fuck? Are you seriously comparing the game of last year to a game that's not even come out yet?
Doubts started to rise as many people called this out to be a fake footage from a video game that doesn't exist, made by a shadow company with no records just to scam people out of their pre-order money. And it's been like that for a long time until they dropped more trailers and promo material and so on and so forth, but the initial impression fell flat.
People thought it was a scam, and then it turned out not to be a scam, but people thought it was a scam in the first place, and that proves something? Oh my god, you're just an idiot, aren't you? I can't believe there are people in my own comment section who think you have a point. This is the part where I start to get angry, but I can't get angry because that guy from my comments will be right, and I can't let him be right.
Now let's talk economics.
Judging by your last segment, you have no fucking clue what economics are or how they work.
If you were to buy one and spend $60, where would these $60 go? That is a really good question. To answer it, let's look at what kind of companies signed up to be the investors and publishers for Atomic Heart, basically to be the ones who would be taking the large cut in Atomic Heart's revenue. The investors of the studio are Chinese Tencent and Russian GEM Capital and Gaijin Entertainment.
Yeah, these companies suck. So do Bethesda. So does Take-Two Interactive. Do you see where I'm going with this? All publishers suck because they're publishers. They don't care about the games industry, they just want to make money. And unfortunately for Monfish, they don't have a lot of options. They can't choose to be published by anybody. They're a new company and this is their first game. They have to take what they can get. They're probably getting awful revenue shares.
Tencent needs no introduction, being infamous with its licensing technique and hunger over users' data. So let's start with Gaijin Entertainment, which moved from Russia to Hungary in 2022 in order to avoid conflict and continue its activities.
I'm not saying that you also fled your country, but for somebody threatened by the war, you seem to have a lot of free time to play Destiny 2.
the head of the PR, Konstantin Hovorun, illegally visited the Ukrainian Crimea, which is temporarily occupied by Russia, and repeatedly spoke in support of the policies and politics of the Russian Federation.
Now, I don't know if this was for business or for pleasure. In fact, I don't even know if this is true because he hasn't linked it in his list of sources, but what I will say is he can have whatever opinions he likes, and that doesn't affect the game whatsoever, because he's part of a completely different company. You could make the argument, but he's their PR guy. And yeah, that would make sense, but if his PR had any influence on Monfish's PR, would he really allow them to make that tweet saying that they disavow the war?
But the most interesting sponsor is GEM Capital. GEM Capital is a Russian fund founded by Anatoly Pali, who previously worked at Gazprom's subsidiary, Gazenergoset.
Side note, while reading his sources, I wanted to blow my brains out. The way this person types makes me want to punch them in the face.
The studio raised investments from them in 2021, where Anatoly met and became friends with oligarchs who got rich on oil and gas activities, and now have the opportunity to invest large sums of money in various projects. Namely, the export of gas and oil is one of the main categories of income of the Russian budget, the money from which goes to the military industry.
So if you spend your money on Atomic Heart, a portion of that money is going to go to GEM, a small portion by the way, because remember it's being split 3 ways, and then GEM is going to pay Anatoly, and then Anatoly might use that money to invest in gas, which might raise the GDP of Russia, meaning you're killing Ukrainians. Holy shit. At this point, I may as well be killing Ukrainians by going to a currency exchange and swapping my pound sterling for rubles.
Moreover, a Twitter user found Pali's connection to other Russian state institutions, such as the sanctioned, systematically important bank VTB.
Okay, so guys, if I put my money in the bank, I'm basically funding police brutality. Because my bank is American and is systemically important to the American economy.
The game attracted as many as 4 publishers: Xbox, 4Divinity, Focus Entertainment, and VK Play.
But we're going to ignore those other 3 to hyperfixate on the Russian one, aren't we?
Let's focus on VK Play. It is known to be a gaming division of the former Mail.ru, the same Mail.ru who had Maxim Zatsepin as their former top manager. And again, it is closely connected with the Russian government and participates in many initiatives of the Kremlin. If Atomic Heart is being developed with money that originated from sanctioned Russian businesses such as VK and Mail.ru, and banks which are systematically important to Russian government such as VTB, profits from the game could be directed to help the Russian government in its invasion. Thus, by buying Atomic Heart, you would pay money to companies that support the aggressive policies and military actions of the Russian Federation.
Okay, let's imagine a Russian high street, okay? I don't even know if Russia has high streets actually, but fuck it. All of those stores on the high street, they're funded by these banks. So if I buy bread, or if I buy clothes, if I buy anything from this Russian high street, am I complicit in the killing of Ukrainians?
Lastly, there were some incredible terms of service and privacy policies spotted over at Monfish. The website now leads to a 404, but someone managed to capture these screenshots. Basically, it says that your information can and will be transferred to the Russian government, in particularly the Federal Security Service. And not just your username, but your full name, physical address, email, phone number, IP address, and so on.
Guys, should we tell him? I don't know if we should tell him. Oh no, but this one's fine because it's Western law enforcement, and Western law enforcement have never abused their power.
Finally, let's talk about the game itself for a bit. The game is filled to the brim with USSR-themed keepsakes and memorabilia, from drinking condensed milk straight out of the can, to actual flags and symbols of the USSR hammer and sickle.
I don't know why this has taken so long to make, because I don't know if I'm arguing with an actual retarded person and that this might be a hate crime.
This kind of approach to the showcase of USSR and communism walks a thin line between using it for world building and praising it.
No, it doesn't. You can't just say something and have that thing be true. Well, I suppose you can when you delete everyone who disagrees with you. Just humour me for a second, because, you know, I'm a dirty Westerner who doesn't understand your practices. Please explain how drinking condensed milk out of a tin can is glorifying communism or Russia in any way. Please, I'm begging you, please tell me.
And there are many solid reasons to believe that this line has been crossed completely right into promoting and idealizing the USSR regime and using it as a tool of USSR and Russian military propaganda. And there have been events to prove this. Take a look at this event that people behind VK organized. It was a special showcase of Atomic Heart for the Russian press, which was stylized in the game's Soviet aesthetics. And they did not go stingy on the decorations, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have used the color red at a party, you are now a racist.
The event included a dinner in a large banquet hall where you could see Soviet-style slogans like "Glory to the Soviet engineers" or "Comrade, join the society of the future."
Not only is this parody, it relates to the marketing of the game. Comrade, join me in the future. It's a dystopian future game. Glory to the engineers. Who made the robots? It relates to the robot arc. It's like, this is not a straight up Soviet party where it's like, join the Communist Party, comrade!
One of the users in Twitter replies said, imagine if developers of Wolfenstein had a Nazi-themed party.
Well, you see, it's funny you should say that, because Hitler has actually been used in viral marketing before. I don't think something created in parody should be vilified. There's this film called, and there's a book on it too, called Look Who's Back. And if you see in this film, it's filmed a lot like Borat, where there's these public segments where this man who's playing the role of Hitler in real life, dressed up as Hitler in real life, getting people to take pictures with him, doing the Nazi salute. It's all done in parody. They're all laughing, they're all having fun. They obviously aren't actual Nazis. There are tasteful ways to parody tragic events in real life, and I think that there's a big difference between an actual Nazi party and, oh look, it's the color red, oh look, babushka, aha look, comrade, aha, Stalin stash.
A Remedy lead gameplay designer rightfully accused Monfish of being nostalgic about the Soviet regime or even glorifying it.
You cannot be serious. In your own pictures, you're showing napkins with the fucking name of the game plastered on them. This is a marketing event. They've tried everything they can to put Atomic Heart front and center in everything. They are not nostalgic. They weren't even fucking alive back then.
Ironically, the party's date coincided with the adoption of the new anti-LGBT law in Russia.
Shut the fuck up.
A major point that I want to bring attention to, that there have been numerous well-made games with a Soviet or USSR or low-lying Eastern Europe theme or setting. Let's bring some examples.
Okay, I'm going to skip this section for 3 reasons. The first reason is this video is becoming way too long already. The second reason is my patience is waning, quite frankly. And the third reason is all he does is go on to name games where he likes the story better than Atomic Heart, even though he doesn't even know what the story of Atomic Heart is yet.
Coming back to Atomic Heart, another point that rubs me the wrong way is the recent marketing strategy.
Oh boy, don't you love male feminism?
It seems like their marketing team realized that their previous Shady strategy has failed to bring in pre-orders.
What previous strategy? What you mean, the Shady strategy in Section 3? You mean the one where you said you were wrong right after? That fucking strategy?
So they went with another plan to make typical capital G gamers buy their game, which is of course none other than through sexualization and objectification of women.
It is a fucking object, you mong!
So far I have avoided showing these characters on screen, but I am talking about the couple of female USSR-styled robots that they suddenly added in recent trailers and thumbnails. Just by searching Atomic Heart on YouTube and scrolling far down, it's impossible to miss the countless trailers, thumbnails, edits, and shorts about these characters, with some videos claiming that they'll buy the game just for these two.
So wait, are they marketing or are they part of the story now? You're not being consistent. I mean, I know this is a joke, you know this is a joke, you're just being disingenuous, but you've not realised, but by saying this, you're implying that they're part of the story. So are you also saying that the marketing team created this character, walked up to the writers, and said, okay, we've got these robots that we're using to get lusty neckbeards to buy our product. Can you stop what you're doing and write them into the story, please?
Which also brings in the ongoing issue of sexualizing lesbians in media. Not only is marketing like this highly unethical and immoral, as we've been fighting with objectifying and sexualizing women.
We? You haven't done anything, you fat fuck! Oh, I'm sorry, were you there with the suffragettes? Did you get run over by a horse? Sorry, I missed that in the history books. You haven't gotten off Destiny long enough to go take a shit, let alone stand up for women's rights.
Go to the bathroom! You're shitting yourself!
Not yet. What the hell?
Go!
But it's also actually illegal. For example, in Ukraine, our parliament adopted a law banning sexism in advertising, which became active in January 2022. Elected officials have banned showing the superiority of one gender over another in physical, intellectual, or social aspect, showing stereotypical roles of men and women.
Once again, and I'm not gonna say this again, they are robots! They are not women! What is wrong with you? I know that the definition of what a woman is has been lost, but I like to think that we know enough about women to know they're not made of titanium!
Gender-based violence, as well as the human body as a sexual object. In simpler terms, it's just gross and cheap, and what pains me to say is that it seems to be working. These YouTube shorts and edits are getting millions of views, quickly becoming favorite among the fans, who quickly started to spread rumors about a possible 6-hour sex scene in the video game.
Okay, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. All the diplomats of the world are talking about it. What are your expectations for the Atomic Heart 6-hour sex scene?
They're high. I have high expectations. Honestly, it's probably the only thing that I'm genuinely looking forward to in Atomic Heart. I don't really know anything else about the game. Well, I know it's like BioShock, right? And I guess I like BioShock, but BioShock didn't really have any cool like robot sex scenes. In fact, I think BioShock 1 really, I'm kind of glad that it had no...
What are your opinions on the people who say that the 6-hour sex scene is objectifying women? Honestly,
I'm not even aware of the robots being women, because they're robots, not like humans. So in my mind, that it's just like the ultimate... Can I say that? The ultimate come down?
In conclusion, what can you do to support Ukraine on this matter? If you did purchase a pre-order of Atomic Heart, the first and the best step would be to cancel it, request a refund, and send that exact amount of money to Ukrainian charities. The second part is admirable, but not necessary. Simply canceling the pre-order is fine, and let's be honest, in this day and age, you shouldn't be buying pre-orders anyway. If you want to go a step further, you can do the following.
Okay, so you know that part in my last video where I said he doesn't just want you to cancel your pre-order, he wants the game banned? Well,
you can go to the game's shop page, click on the complaint flag, select the item breach of the law, contains materials that violate the laws of your country, and write a similar text or something on that matter.
Yeah, so he doesn't even want you to be able to buy the game in Ukraine. He wants it outright banned in his own country, so that even if people in his own country want to play the game, they can't play the game. He's trying to ruin the fun for everybody else. Given Steam's history and the search results when you type in anime, I don't think Atomic Heart is going anywhere anytime soon, so don't worry about that.
Some users could make a claim that they could simply pirate it and pay no money to the Russian devs and still enjoy the game. To that I can't say anything, at that point it depends only on your moral compass.
So you use the excuse of legality when you want Atomic Heart taken off the Steam store, but when it comes to pirating the game, it all bases on your moral compass, man. In conclusion, judging by how poorly thought out this video is, how many protected groups he tries to rope in to his argument, purely because Section 3 was an actual just waste of time, and how disingenuous he was for all of his points in the last section about the robots, I can't help but think this is just a clout chase. And I hate to say that, but I really can't see how you can run through this video and be like, yeah, this is coherent, yeah, this is fine, I'm going to upload this is not embarrassing whatsoever. This has been one of the hardest videos for me to make for a few reasons. One of the reasons is, what's the point? I'm arguing with a caricature. This person doesn't believe what they're saying, they just want attention. And the second is, I have to respond to the entire video because otherwise there's morons in my comments saying that he has a point when he says this, he has a point when he says that. If there's anything I want you to take from this video, it's to have some fucking skepticism, okay? Please don't see a video that has millions of views. Go in the description, oh, it's got sources, oh look, he did research, look, oh, I didn't know that fact, I didn't know the company was, and then think that he has a coherent point because of that. Be skeptical, read the sources, because oftentimes these people are fuckheads.